Clever Elsie. There once was a girl named Elsie. Her parents, Father Barnaby and Mother Hildegard, thought she was the cleverest person in the world. They loved to call her Clever Elsie. Father Barnaby would loudly declare to anyone who listened, "My Elsie is so sensible," and Mother Hildegard would nod, sighing, "No one is as sharp-witted as our dear girl," they boasted constantly. One day, a suitor named Hans arrived. He was strong and kind, but he needed a wife who wasn't just sweet, but genuinely wise and prudent. Hans told Barnaby, "I would like to marry Elsie, but first, she must prove to me that she is a prudent, clever woman, useful in all things." Mother Hildegard and Father Barnaby quickly agreed, listing exaggerated examples of Elsie's supposed genius, though Elsie just sat quietly by the fireplace, confused by the fuss. To show Hans Elsie's domestic skill, Hildegard said, "Elsie dear, go down to the cellar and draw us a jug of the best, freshest beer." Elsie took the jug and went down the dark stone steps into the cellar. She set the jug on the floor, climbed onto a small wooden stool next to the beer barrel, and reached for the tap. As the sweet, bubbly beer filled the jug, Elsie glanced up at the wall. There, hanging right above where she was drawing the drink, was a large, heavy pickaxe. Elsie stopped pouring. "Oh," she thought, "when Hans and I marry, we will live here, of course, and start a family. And we will have a little boy, a beautiful, tiny boy with chubby cheeks, who will grow up strong and healthy. When he is old enough," she mused, "he will be sent down to this very cellar to draw beer, just like I am doing now." But what if that pickaxe came loose? Elsie cried out. "It would fall right onto his head and kill my precious, beautiful little boy." And with that terrifying thought, Elsie sat down on the stool and began to sob. Upstairs, the wait felt very long. Father Barnaby sighed and tapped his foot. "Why is she taking so much time? The beer must be freezing." Finally, Mother Hildegard said, "I must send someone. Greta, dear maid, go see what is delaying Clever Elsie." Greta went down and found Elsie weeping beside the overflowing jug. "Elsie, what is the matter? Has something happened to the beer?" she whispered, shocked. Elsie pointed tragically at the pickaxe. "See that? If Hans and I marry and we have a son, and he comes down here to draw beer, the pickaxe will fall and hurt him." Greta stared at the axe, then back at Elsie. "Oh, my dear, what a terrible, awful tragedy. How clever and far-sighted you are to think of such a thing." And Greta sat down next to Elsie and began to cry too. Up above, the noise was worrying. "Now the maid is crying too," cried Father Barnaby. They sent young Fritz, the helper boy, down the steps. Fritz heard the sad story and joined the sorrowful weeping. Hearing the chorus of wails, Barnaby and Hildegard rushed down together. They listened to Elsie's explanation, saw the pickaxe, and understood. "Oh, our poor clever girl," they sobbed, joining the mournful group. Hans, thoroughly confused by the loud, collective crying, went down himself. He saw Father Barnaby, Mother Hildegard, Elsie, Greta, and Fritz all sitting among the beer puddles, wailing desperately. Hans asked what was wrong. Elsie wiped a tear and explained, pointing once again, "If we marry and have a child, this pickaxe will fall and kill him." Hans looked at the pickaxe. He looked at Elsie. "Ah," he said slowly, "this is true prudence. She is thinking of the future. She is clever enough for me." And they married shortly after. After their wedding, Hans sent Elsie to the field to cut the corn. Elsie cooked herself a large bowl of nice porridge first, saying, "I will need strength for such hard work." Elsie sat down, ate the porridge, and debated in her head whether she should cut the corn or not. She grew tired from thinking, fell asleep, and never started working. Hans found her, chuckled, and placed a net full of jingling bells over her head. Elsie woke with a start. When she moved, the bells jingled loudly. Confused, she ran back to the house. She asked Hans, "Is Elsie inside?" Hans replied, "Yes, she is." Hearing the bells and believing she couldn't be Elsie, she ran away forever, thinking she was someone else entirely.